The third basic application of this teaching is what I call conscious living. Now, conscious living really applies to something I talked about in the first of these two videos, the video about the basic principles of the teaching. Conscious living applies to something that I call awakened values. Now, in the first video, I talked about awakened values, but I'll just quickly reiterate what they are. And they're most easily seen in contrast to what the egoic state of consciousness values, what it finds as valuable and worthwhile. Now, the egoic state of consciousness is based in separation. And being based in separation, it's also fundamentally fear-based. The egos are fundamentally fear-based because the ego sees itself as something separate and distinct from all other egos and from the world around it. And this causes the ego to feel separate and isolated to some extent and to have an undercurrent of fear. Because the ego is this small thing existing within this vast, vast, vast universe. And this can only give a rise to a certain amount of fear. So the egoic state of consciousness values separation, although it does so usually in a very unconscious way. It also values conflict, even though for some egos they don't think they're valuing conflict, but actually they are. Egos value victimhood, blaming, controlling. Egos are, by their very nature, very, very afraid of letting go of control, letting go of manipulation. They think, if I was to let go of control, I wouldn't get what I want, or I wouldn't get what I need, or I wouldn't be protected. Or maybe even worse than that, the whole world would somehow fall off its axis if you stopped controlling everything. So the ego holds as valuable things and ideas and beliefs that are rooted in separation. When I call these the values of the ego, I don't mean to suggest necessarily that they're moral values. There's just ways of being that the egoic state of consciousness holds as valuable and necessary. So we can contrast that with the values, again, not moral values, but what existence holds as valuable. Contrast this with the awakened values, which means that which awakened consciousness or spirit, what conscious spirit holds as valuable. And conscious spirit holds as valuable, just some of the things that conscious spirit holds as valuable is truthfulness. Truth, it holds as a great value. What's real? What's really real in any situation, about anything? What's really real? Not, can I assert my opinion or my idea or belief? Can my opinion win the day? But what's really real and what's really true? This is a deep value held within consciousness, within spirit. Unity. This is another value within conscious spirit. Because conscious spirit sees that spirit is the underlying essence of all of existence. And therefore all of existence is ultimately unified. It's all of the same substance. It's all the same suchness. And this is really the insight of which gives a great appreciation of unity. And so consciousness, conscious spirit values unity. It also values freedom, not only for oneself, but for all of existence. In other words, conscious spirit isn't going around life blaming and controlling everything and everybody. It doesn't value subduing anybody. It values freedom for everything and for everybody. Freedom for your own being and freedom for all beings. This is a value that's held within conscious spirit. Peace is another one. If human beings just actually valued peace rather than speaking about it or just talking about it, but actually held the value of of peace, then they would act from that value. They would manifest that in the way that they act and move in life. But so often we speak about peace, but we don't really act it and do it and move that way. And why don't we? Well, we don't do that when we have no consciousness of the truth, the essence of our existence. It's only when we have a consciousness of the essence of our existence as conscious spirit itself does peace naturally become a very high and true value for us, because it's a value that's within spirit itself. Gratitude is another one, the appreciation of what is, the appreciation of life, of existence, of anybody and anything, for just the way it is.